like the both of them.
If I said Lita and someone else you don't like, yo, F that hoe.
I would have said F Lita, but I would have never said, oh, fuck the match.
Yes, you have.
I said fuck Lita. I will clearly say that any day of the fucking week.
Why do you still hate Lita?
But if
she don't even know you.
Listen.
She don't know you.
Man, listen.
Because if you really want to get down,
that's pettiness. You don't know these people. You went to Mad House before. You chill with him. You smoke with him. Did hookah with him. You don't know these people.
But you also gotta understand, like.
Drop a tears podcast. Drop a tears podcast. Drop a tears podcast. Drop a tears. We got Wilkins, Mrblacc, Janelle from the HR best squad. Every single view, no one can take guard. Vision of the crew, unstoppable in your face. All I say, we speak the truth in every single debate. Out our way, every week we bring and take the topics. The views and optics, the fans at live party, it's on and popping. No one can do it like this. The viewing party commence after crew excitement. The best show, the finest. Drop a tears podcast. We hold it down. They know us now. We take the crown. Drop a tears podcast. We hold it down. They know us now. We hold it down. Drop a tears. Drop a tears. Drop a tears podcast. Drop a tears. Drop a tears. Drop a tears podcast. We hold it down. They know us now.
Jobber Nation, hello out there listening in the wonderful world of the interwebs. This is season 4, episode 12 of the Jobber Tears podcast. As always, I am Janelle from HR here with Mrblacc and Sir Wilkins back from our week away. Well, he was, sitting on the sideline because we had 2 amazing guests. Shout outs to Katie and Lucius for joining us last week, and also their event, the cause for Sean, I do believe, is this Sunday. So for more information, go to our social media platform for that. They are taking still donations on their GoFund, and once again in honor of their dear friend that passed away. How's everybody's week so far before we just jump on into the wonderful world of wrestling? Like, what's going on? I feel like I haven't seen you guys in years.
Saw you last week.
But it feels like my whole journey after I left y'all has been one hell of a weekend. But how's everyone's weekend? So, week or whatever?
Alex, you don't want the smoke, nigga.
What's new?
Relax, Alex.
Oh, shout outs to Head Pokes and Eye Chokes. The boys wanted to come on the show. Oops, I meant to tell y'all that. They wanted to come on the show, but we're recording 2 episodes next week. And I was like,
Joe Kim said when he's coming back on the show.
Joe, you... I got
Joe
a bunch of
half the
questions.
time doesn't want to be on the show.
He makes it his show without it being his show, and then complain about not being on the show. But when you get a little closer to your event, Mr. Morales, you can always come and join us on the Jobber Tears podcast. Other than that, what else is going on?
Yo, my son Ish. Yo, what up, baby boy?
Oh, what up, Ish?
It's my son.
I bet it is. It'd be my son if he just answered text messages and, stuff like that. But,
He be busy. He's a busy man. He works hard.
Yeah, okay. We're all busy.
Shout out to son big time Yaya.
Oh, the heavyweight champion of the world. PWX, Yaya.
So, if anybody's listening, you're like, who the hell are these people? These are people who are on our Instagram Live.
What up, Deborah Oxtail?
Is that like your full name, Deborah Oxtail? Or is it like a nickname?
No, that's obviously not her nickname. Oh, she sent us stuff from... She works for E1 Entertainment.
Oh, sweet.
So she sent us Death Row stuff.
Oh, that's legit.
But most of them don't fit.
Oh, shit.
They're like,
you can't fit it. Oh, I can fit that.
I'll bring them in.
Okay, cool. I'll wear it, Miss Deborah. Thank you for the fly gear for Death Row.
She just think the niggas is just fat over here.
Wait, what? No, I mean, y'all. Compared to what you used to be, you don't
I wear
think
extra. I wear a large.
You out here being a snicker ball.
I ain't no snicker. Chill.
And your brother over here like Mr. Good Ball over here,
Yeah, that's weird. What?
Before we jump into This Week in Wrestling, it is a new segment actually that I will go into. But before we do start that, we want to give a quick shout out to our host of our SummerSlam viewing party, Peter Rosenberg. Happy belated birthday. And all that jazz, but also shout outs to him for actually promoting. What?
I miss my soundboard.
Your sound. We're gonna work on it. Don't worry about it.
Shout out to We Did Wrestling. We had a great interview yesterday. Episode soon dropping.
Oh, you had a whole ass episode. Didn't tell nobody, huh?
I put it on the story and everything, and on my story, but you didn't watch it.
But did you put it in the group chat?
I don't need to do that.
Yeah, you do. But that's family business. Y'all don't worry about that. But as I was saying, shout outs to Peter Rosenberg. Also gave us a really, really nice plug for our viewing party this coming
Shout out to Ralph Rains.
Sunday.
He called him Rosen Vulture.
Who's that?
Nah, just stop.
That's crazy. But as I was saying, Rosenberg will be hosting our WWE SummerSlam viewing party.
Yo, don't give that
11th.
nigga none of that niggas mixtape either.
Yo, can I finish without you interrupting me?
I don't niggas give him mixtapes.
Okay, but wait till I finish, and then he's not like A&R, so why would they even whatever? Anyway, Peter Rosenberg will be doing a pre-show of his Cheap Heat podcast at Legends Live. So for more information, you can go on to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that jazz. Tickets are currently on sale for both our viewing party and for the live podcast. So it'd be a great way to kind of end those SummerSlam weekend. What do you want to say? Because I know you
already said it.
Itching to, not to drop mixtapes.
Not to, don't ask him on mixtape.
Well, just don't harass our host. Period.
You could talk to him, but if you're gonna talk to him, come with a business plan. Don't come with like a piece of paper like, yo, I'm lit on Instagram. No, come with a business plan. Come with your portfolio, with a business card. So what you're presenting. If you're gonna talk business, talk business. Listen, this is also a wrestling podcast, also a life podcast. Gotta teach niggas proper etiquette, deal with niggas in the business.
You teach niggas proper etiquette to in the business.
Come on, B. You know what? If y'all only knew how much hours I spend on YouTube watching this stuff.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm glad you do. You know what? It's all about teach one, teach each other, be there for each other. So
what? How you butcher that saying?
That is great. I don't remember how it goes.
It's teach one, each one.
See, but I wanted to say eat one, but I was like,
and one hand wash the other. They both wash the face.
Oh, I don't say that. But you said it, so here you go. They get what we saying. They get it. But let's jump into this week in wrestling. So, we've been, keeping our ears to the streets, and everyone's like, we want to hear more about, New Japan, AEW, RH. Like, it's just, listen, guys, we try to record in an hour and a half because, listen, our attention spans are very, very low. So we don't want to drag on a show being 2-3 hours because we can do that, but that wouldn't be really much fun. So I figured before we do our opening segment to kind of just do a quick This Week in Wrestling and trying to get some, tidbits into what's going on in the wonderful world of wrestling. So as everyone knows, we did have our G1 Climax 29 viewing party a few weeks ago. It was the first time in history that it was done in the United States in Dallas, Texas. So I'm just going to update you guys on a few things about the G1. It's been about 8 nights, so 8 events have gone on. And once again, every match you get points. If you don't win, you don't get points. If it's a draw, you split the points. Once again, this is basically the tournament to determine who will face Okada at Wrestle Kingdom in January of 2020. So right now, and there's 2 different blocks. It's Block A, Block B. And I basically wanted to just give, it's interesting that the 2 highest in each block are. So in Block A, you have Kenta, newly faced in New Japan with 8 points. And then you have a current reigning defending champion Okada with 8 points as well. So those are the top 2 in Block A. And then in Block B, you have Jon Moxley and Juice Robinson, both with 8 points individually. So the G1 Climax will continue this Saturday, the 27th, with Block A matches. So you have actually Okada versus Kenta, which I think is going to be very, very interesting. And then you have also Evil versus Zack Sabre Jr., and then you have Will Ospreay versus Bad Luck Fale.
Will is good?
Yeah, Will is good. He got cleared to wrestle and to compete, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be good to go for this weekend. But my question to you guys real quick, from looking at the top 2 from Block A and Block B, do you think any one of those individuals will actually win the G1 tournament?
Probably. It looks like Okada.
So for those that are listening and now watching, the way that the tournament, the champion is in the tournament, which I don't really understand why, but whatever. But if Okada does win the tournament completely, he will then be able to choose who he will face at Wrestle Kingdom.
I think that it's going to, because I don't see Moxley winning, because obviously his situation. Juice, he's not over like that over there. He's over, but I don't think he's their guy. And then you look at Kenta, which probably might be the one to win, but then it's still like I feel like they're gonna give because want to make Okada that nigga, so make him win. He looks fucking impossibly strong. Then he's like, I'm gonna choose the person, open challenge type of shit. You know what I mean?
I don't agree with the whole how that ends up being. Mr. Black, any thoughts on G1?
No.
Okay. And we're going to be right along to ROH if you were here this weekend. Unfortunately, I was not. But if I was, I would have been at the Hammerstein Ballroom where they had ROH TV taping for Manhattan Mayhem, where there were 6 matches that were broadcasted live on the Honor Club. You can watch those on the streaming site. But I wanted to just highlight one of the matches, which was basically the Briscoes versus GOD, Gorillas of Destiny, who actually won the ROH Tag Team titles at Supercard. And they were facing each other in a New York City street fight where the Briscoes became your 11th time ROH Tag Team champions. So my question to you guys is, what tag team do you think will the Briscoes face next?
Who do you think they're going to face?
I mean, you have PCO and what's his name? I always want to say Brody, but that's not what it is. You have the guys from Villain Enterprises, because basically I feel like they're gonna.
No, but the reason why I asked is because there's like, besides Villain Enterprises,
there aren't no real tag teams.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Like there isn't like there from what I've seen from like I've been like fully been watching it like 100%, but like what I've been able to catch on in the news, it's like they're pushing Villain Enterprises.
Yes.
Because their main guy on Villain Enterprises
is
Marty, which is a former Bullet Club guy. Well, was he Bullet Club? But you can't really. He was affiliated with them heavy.
Okay.
So he's over, and he's like they're trying to make him their top guy, even though he should be like their champion, not that other guy, Matt
Taven, who went against Jay Lethal and Kenny King. And you know I'm all about black excellence, so I was just really disappointed.
But the thing is like, Homeboy is whack. There's no Hunt. The nigga is whack. He's whack.
I wouldn't say fully whack.
No, he's whack. He's whack. And I know they're trying to go another direction because Jay had the title for like 1,000,000 years. Mm-hmm. But the dude is whack.
All right. Mr. Black, any thoughts on ROH Manhattan Mayhem?
Nope.
Okay. So let's jump into our opening segment, Behind Gorilla's Position. Our OMG moment this week. It is official, ladies and gentlemen, October 2nd. Mark your calendars. October 2nd, 2019, AEW
when was this announced?
Hitting. This was announced, I would say, 6 hours ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I said the outline, and then I saw it. I was like, did I miss something?
No, they announced it today, in real time, Wednesday, on all platforms that AEW will be their first TV tape, their first live TV on TNT will be Wednesday, October the 2nd. Which is actually funny because it's 2 nights before SmackDown Live goes on Fox. So they announced it today where tickets will actually be on sale this coming Monday. And it will be held at the Capital One Arena, because I always want to say the Verizon Center, but it's not that anymore. It is the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., in the nation's capital. So I have a few questions for you guys. I guess the first question is that, do you think DC was the best pick to have your first live show? I mean, the DMV area, we actually have a lot of viewers. Shout out to anyone that lives in the Baltimore, DC, Virginia.
That's where we get all our viewers from.
Area. So shout out to all of you guys.
Virginia.
So do you think DC was the right market to start your first show? And then what are your thoughts on it being 2 days before SmackDown Live?
Drop a tear podcast. Yeah. Drop a tear podcast. Drop a tear.
Doesn't mean anything.
I know.
It's
people are gonna make it seem like it means
it really doesn't mean anything. They're not going head to head with nothing. Supposedly. as we said, it's and not going really head to head with anything. So one of the biggest things that you have to realize is that take a look at it. I don't think they should have put it in that area, but they have the fan base, and they 9 out of 10 they will sell because it's fucking historic.
Okay, yeah, you got people come from all over.
Yeah, it's legit a top promotion debuting their first weekly show. You know what I mean? That hasn't been done in like how many years? Like it was before like some of our parents were born.
Yeah.
So it's gonna sell out regardless. I thought it might like get that Chicago feel. You know what I mean?
I mean, Chicago's been I mean, if I would have thought, I thought it would have definitely been a little further south, like Charlotte or something. Something I would have thought. But.
Yeah, but I can see that they're gonna do well. It's gonna sell out. Once again, this is history in the making. It hasn't been done in so many. When was WCW first come around? When was WCCW? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't even remember.
These are this is such a huge event that is guaranteed sellout.
Okay. Mr. Black, what are your thoughts on AEW officially going to go live on TNT on October 2nd?
I don't really much opinion because this is going to be the first show. I'm waiting, like I said before, what they're going to do on within a year format. Let me see what kind of format they're going to pull off. Because the first show is going to be great. I'm not expecting enough for not to be great. I enjoy their pay-per-views. I enjoy the different stuff they do on YouTube. But it reached a point where, like, I ain't going to get hyped for the first episode. No. They maybe wait watch for next week. Cool, but I have no expectation for them. I want to see how they do within the year. Because it's always easier because they're going to tweak the format. Maybe they put this one here, this, that, and third. It's going to feel like more a wrestling show. It's going to feel more like I'm watching a sitcom, like WWE. So I don't have much opinion on it. I will not have much opinion probably within a year. But until then, I don't want to say nothing about it because, again, I want to be surprised. Surprise me. Now I'm locked in. So keep me locked in every week.
Okay. Question still, do you think DC was the right market?
Yo, it doesn't matter where you put it at. At the end of the day,
it does.
At the end of the day, you want to get fans a place that WWE don't usually go to. So why not go to a place that's most easily accessible to go to? DC.
They do go to DC.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Literally, you can fly from Chicago, Florida. It's easy to get to DC. It's 1,000,001 flights to get to DC. So just have it in DC. Why not? Like, fans are going to come regardless. It's not like they're going to it's not like you're going to the West Coast to, like, Utah or something like that. Nah, still in the West Coast. Niggas in New York are going to come in there. Niggas in Virginia are going to come in there. So it does not matter because that's the perfect place. The East Coast is wrestling heaven right now. So why not? Niggas up from North Carolina are going to come up there. So everybody say, oh, should have been this way, should have been like, nah. Go to LA for the bigger events. Right now, you try to establish a fan base that will follow you from town to town. You need the guy with the dragon shirt to come there every week. You need the guy with the straw hat to come every week. So we reach a point right now like you need those loyal fan base that will go to each and every show whenever. So why not go to the most accessible place, DC, in the West Coast? You know and get that roaring crowd. Y'all overdid. Y'all going to be in Jacksonville a lot. So that's like, all right, whatever. That's a given. You did Chicago already. That's overdone. So why not do something decent, something fresh? Everybody talk about, oh, they're the same exact thing. But yeah, when somebody try to do something different in wrestling, everyone complains. So I reach a point where like, yo, no matter where you do it, as long as you know the market, you know the area, obviously they all did their research. They ain't dumb. So we may not think that. A lot of people may not think, oh, do this, third. But y'all not in his offices doing these meetings. Y'all not. And they probably got a great price because he probably know the owner of that stadium. Like, yo, bro, I got you, bro. Let me give you a nice, deep discount. Simple.
All right. So let's move on to, as we spoke about a few episodes ago, if you have not watched The Dark Side of Wrestling on Viceland, it is a highly recommended. I can't with you. It is a highly recommended docu-series that was on Viceland that started. And it gets to like the depths of wrestling stories that we have never even been to, I feel like. So they have actually been renewed for a second season, which I think is
no shit, Sherlock.
Amazing. But this time around, they're going to actually almost double the episodes. Yes. So I think this season there was only maybe 6 or something like that. So they're practically going to double the season.
So it's gonna be 12.
Yeah, so it's going to be around that
So
12.
people don't know math.
13, 14. You never know. So my question to you, gentlemen, is what wrestling stories would you like to see on season 2? So in season 1, you saw the story of Macho and Elizabeth. You saw the fabulous Moolah episode, the sad Von Erich's story, the screw job. What kind of like monumental wrestling story would you like to see on season 2 of the dark side of wrestling?
That's simple. I got a couple. The exit of Brock Lesnar after WrestleMania when he went to New Japan, where his rise in UFC and his coming back home to WWE. That'd be a great story. The fall of Earl Hammer in WWE and what he did and reason why he's banned and would he ever come back. The story of the Jeff Jarrett family, or if we go with Jeff Jarrett, the rise and fall of TNA. And we could talk about the different years, the eras of like they went from basically a weekly pay-per-view, how that weekly pay-per-view able to establish some of these old veterans, give them homes, establish new stars that we see in the business today, and also from TNA to Impact, getting owned. We also talk about cover right, joining forces with Global Force. Another story will obviously like the impact of Dusty Rhodes within the business. Another story we could talk about the staying power of keeping kayfabe alive when kayfabe is dead. The story of the Undertaker. So you can go many different ways with different stories. You don't always have to keep the whole traditional stories such as, oh, this person got raped, this my kid. No, let's have fun stories of like, I never really thought about it. Let's get Brock in the interview. How you felt when you got that tattoo to the neck to your throat. What made you get that? How you felt that when you got cut from the Wilkins? How you know that UFC was for you? For you, it will actually open up Brock and make him more of a character. Nobody knows the true story of Earl Hamler still in all those merchandise. Everybody knows that once he said. Let's talk about that. Earl Hamler, you ever thought they would get a job again? And where are you right now? Another story is the rise of NWA. For where it's from before and how Billy Corgan was able to rise from the ashes to make it what it is right now. So we have plenty of stories we could go in. Or we could talk about the rise of New Japan in modern day era. Who holds the pillars to get it from this point. So you go many different directions. But it's up to them which one they're going to pick.
Okay. So, Wilkins, what are you?
Well, first of all, if nobody knows this yet, I got to say it because I'm so hyped about this one. They are going to do the Chris Benoit story.
Yes.
They did speak about it. They're gonna,
yes.
Which is one they're going to be so awesome. But.
And his son needs to get interviewed.
That's fucking has to happen because once again, Chris Benoit didn't do it. I said it. Chris Benoit did not do it. I don't care what nobody says. But anyways, super excited, obviously. Mm-hmm. There's so many stories that they're gonna fucking do. One of the stories I want to see is Scott Hall.
Of course,
and that murder. The infamous murder. Shawn Michaels with the Marines when he got punched in the face and then he had to give up the title. Yeah, remember that one? Yeah. Remember that one? That's golden era shit right there. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to do it, but they should do it. Owen Hart's death and the aftermath. That's something.
That's gonna be a hard one.
That's a hard one because. Not the death, but more of the
effects of it.
The effects of it. His wife, the settlement that she did out of court, all of that. WWE doesn't fuck with them. First of all, quick story: my boy used to work for Vice, and he was supposed to get tickets to WrestleMania, and because he's an industry cat, and they was like at first it was all cleared, then the show came out, and they find out he worked for Vice. They're like, nah, you can't come. Because they thought they want to try to super around and shit. Yeah. But another story I would love to hear, I just had it in my head. What is it? Okay, but besides that one, Ahmed Johnson and his beef backstage and him kicking Farouk in the kidney.
Yeah, and having him injured and having him out all that time when he was hot on the block.
Like hot on the block. I still remember this. I never remember this. I always remember this. I thought I was a fan of him. Quickly, Mark Henry said his pop was so crazy, it was bigger than Stone Cold's pop.
Ahmed Johnson?
Yeah. That's how crazy his pop was.
Because he was over with kids.
He was just over, bro. Nigga. He was like close to 300-pound black man, bald, jack, charismatic when he walked out, somewhat can move in the ring because at that time they didn't really care about him, but he was charismatic. He was there. He was just a dick, and I would love to hear the story behind that. I would also love them to touch on Ron Simmons and like the scarcity of black wrestlers in wrestling. That's like something that they could kind of like a little bit of touch on.
Yeah.
Other thing I would love to touch on is the Ring Boy scandal. WWE ain't fucking with them.
No, not at all.
So you might as well go deep.
I mean, that's I don't know.
There's a couple things they could talk about, bro.
Yeah, I know. The ones I would like to, because I mean, it's a dark side of wrestling, so I'm all about. Let's talk about people that ain't here. Let's talk about death. I definitely would want them to do one on China. That is definitely one that I would definitely want. I would want them to do one on Eddie. And them talk about, him building up, going against Brock, winning the title, and then passing. Kind of, kind of like his highest. Like, it was bad. It was crazy. Someone asked me, I forgot where I was.
Don't see him punk one, too.
I forgot where I was, but someone asked me, I know where I was. I was on a hookah date. And the person asked me, what's your darkest day of wrestling? And I mean, I said, besides Owen.
What kind of date were you on?
I mean, it was a good question because we were talking about wrestling because he likes wrestling. And I just thought it was such an out of the box question. I was just like, oh my God, that's so like shit.
I can't date someone who like wrestling.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
It's a gift and a curse.
Like, I'm sorry. I don't know how niggas do it. I don't want to talk about wrestling outside the podcast, outside a lot of places. Like,
but no, I mean, it's something that you guys just have in common. Like,
nah,
eventually you'll find out
cool.
other things.
It's cool though, but it's just like how that.
It's not your love. So if it's not something you
No.
love,
Don't get me wrong. I love wrestling. It's like I love podcasting. I love a lot of stuff, but I don't want to talk about it when I'm trying to have sex with you.
No one says that we're smashing and talking about Raw from 1997. Like,
I don't want to talk about wrestling on a date.
No one's saying that.
Especially
But I mean,
like,
it's a good conversation
it's
starter.
cool, but a lot of people get too passionate and forget that it's a work. And it's just like when people top 10, right? It's just like, I don't do top 10s because I feel like how that is all determined that one booker that say that person's great or not. Because there's somebody who's way better than Shawn Michaels, but it's all because depending on Vince is saying that I feel like he's the best. Let me give him all the opportunities. So when it comes to like wrestling, I just feel like it comes so like, it's too like, you can't determine who's the best because it's all based on a booker.
I mean, but the best is your opinion. Like, that's really what
like,
it boils
for
down
example,
to.
right? Everybody's just like, for example, if I say that, like, I like D'Lo Brown, everybody knows that. Oh, you like D'Lo Brown? I'm like, I don't care. This is what I like. This is what I like. It gets too much of a very oversaturated argument about who's the best. I'm like, it's what you like, you like. If somebody thinks that Kane is the best person, shout out to IWW, shout out to him, if I just do his name.
Tom.
But Tom, shout out to him. He probably think Kane's the best. That's cool.
No,
but
yeah.
it's just like someone's like, oh, Kane is whack. Get a whole big argument, discussion about that.
But that's the beauty.
That's anything.
Of
Though.
it,
That's
yeah.
music.
But
That's
just the beauty of
that's
an
acting.
argument.
It's anything that's an art form. Even sports is the same thing.
It's different when it comes to sports because at the end of the day, though, like the best quarterback, cream rise to the top. Like, for example, if Kawhi could take the Raptors to the thing because he's that damn good, you cannot. The upper head said that you can't stop that. No matter what you do. If I could put in buckets, I could dunk on everybody, son. That can't be a fix or work. Compared to like, yo, I'll make this man win because I like him and that's it.
But it's also the in work though. You can talk about them winning, but you can also say, what are you doing for that dude? What passion are you putting behind it? Shawn Michaels, for instance, is literally in my opinion, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And I will say the reason why is because his matches have literally been one of the greatest matches, have been so good. Like, he puts on classes, especially when the time is right.
Mr. Perfect had better matches than him, but he didn't get the recognition.
But the thing about that's your opinion.
What about how that?
But you just said that's your opinion.
But again, this is why I don't have a top 5. I just feel like how these are just like us collectively because this argument gets so like I'm looking like, y'all arguing about this? Y'all do know it's a work, right? Y'all do know how you can't determine who's better than who.
But it's not about.
But so you can't say your favorite movie is this then, because that's a movie.
Listen. I ain't talking about movies. I'm talking about wrestling.
But
that's
that's
one.
it goes into the same. It goes into the same thing that you're talking about. So you can't say your movie's your favorite. This movie's my favorite of all time because a movie is not real.
But we're not talking about what's the best.
The thing about it's your top
just
10.
like-
We didn't say top 10. We said top 10. If my top 10 is Shawn Michaels and you believe Shawn Michaels is not as good as Mr. Perfect, then that's it.
That's fine.
That's-
Y'all
it's
missing
fine.
the points.
Okay, so what's the point?
Let's break it
So we
down
can
as
move
far as
on.
movie wise, right? Let's break down everything as far as collective wise, right? Niggas was dedicated and arguing about who's the best, who's better than this, that, or third, right? Boom. You could say, let's say somebody like Arlington Cat, this accolade, this guy, accolade. Those accolades to me is just like,
But
it's
that's
cool.
to you.
Never mind. Let's continue. Let's go about something else.
No, go ahead. Finish what you're saying. It's your opinion. That's just all I'm saying.
But never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to talk about this no more.
Okay, fine. So we move right along. So WWE recently, last week, has filed a trademark. So WWE and Triple H announced when WWE's going live on Fox that they also would be doing a studio show after when SmackDown made that move. They would do the show on FS1, Fox Sports 1. So they recently made the trademark for WWE After the Bell. Ding. Which was once again filed last week. So my question to you guys, this could be the name of the show, no one knows yet, but let's say if it is the show, and they were saying the after show would be hosted by Renee Young, apparently. So my question to you gentlemen would be, what would you actually like to see on the studio show? Like if you remember back in the day, where you had like little like shows like for 30 minutes or something where it was like either interviews or it was like a recap. SmackDown did it for a while with the it was like the Raw After Talk or like SmackDown, like they did post shows here and there with Renee, which I thought was phenomenal. Some of like the best promos within the last 2 years I think came out of those post shows, especially like the Daniel Bryan and Miz. Oof, that was that almost caught everybody with kayfabe for real.
No, that was serious. That was real though.
No, I know. I do believe at the time it was real. I think now they're just probably in a different space, but at that moment it was hot.
Yeah, he said on one of his interviews like, "Yo, I wanted Daniel Bryan to punch me in my face, but he didn't."
Yeah.
And he said that how on debut episode that you don't have the IC championship. On the debut episode, you talk about everything else but the IC champion. That's supposed to be his second highest title, where you're not talking about it. So he went there hot. He went there on some like,
Oh, he was already
yo,
hot.
F that. I'm gonna say what I say. I stand by every word I said. And at the end of the day, he is the best. He showed that right then. That was the beginning of what the Miz. That interview reminded everybody and showed everybody how far he came from that promo talk about him getting kicked out when he was U.S. champion. And it's funny. The secondary title, he always elevated to the next level. So that U.S. championship, when he walked through the locker room to the ring, talking about the MVPs and stuff like that, until him being IC and reminding people that what I do this. And he is, to me, like as far as like keeping within the wrestling thing, him, Cody are the two pillars of the IC title with that white strap.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about this post show that they're going to have on FS1. Ideally, the question to you gentlemen is, what would you like to see on the show? Like, would you like to see interviews? Would you like to see more segments? Would you like to see maybe a wrestling match? Like, what would you like to see on this studio show that's going to be on FS1 this fall?
I want to see more adult themes. I don't want to be on some like I'm watching like this is cool because matter of fact, let's backtrack it. I ain't excited for this until they fix the product. Like if I'm not satisfied with what I'm watching on SmackDown, I ain't gonna watch the after show. So until this show consistent basis, I ain't putting no more extra time into no extracurricular activity or trying to watch anything else besides the wrestling product. Even then, I can't get through that as far as that. But usually SmackDown is usually generally a good show, but I have to see the first episode. Again, this all go about what are you going to do, how much hand that Vince going to have in it, how much hand that whoever in charge of creating will have in it, how much hands that the station going to have it into it. I want to see all of that. So I don't know what I want to see. So instead of me saying, I want to see this and get disappointed, again, let's go back to AEW talk. I want to see how the first episode goes. The first couple episodes, like, all right, do I like this format? Does this excite me?
What would you like? What would excite you? Like, if you're so disappointed in the product, like most people are, and most people that say that, what would you like to see? What would excite you?
At this point, nothing.
See, but then that's the thing. If you don't know what excites you, how the hell would they
Oh,
know?
I know what's exciting me, but they're not gonna do it.
What they should do, and this could really help, is don't use wrestlers on the show.
That's the most stupidest idea ever. That's how you get wrestlers over. That's how they got the Miz over.
Oh, hold on.
That's how you get
Let
AJ
me
Styles
finish. Hold
over.
on. How about let me finish first? Let me finish first before I'm done. Let me finish. Let me bring out what I need to do. I ain't cooking yet, so let me finish cooking. First of all, you're gonna put Renee Young on the show, right? You put Renee Young on the show, then you get influencers. Sam Roberts on there. You get somebody like Rosenberg on the show because it's kind of like a shoot then, because they're not really in the biz. They're kind of looking the outside looking in. You know what I mean? You bring them on. You have interviews with wrestlers. And this is what will make it even better. You start doing stuff with social media. You start looking at their Twitter feed. You start looking at, Natty's, because Natty been hot lately. Been coming at Becky.
Yeah.
So you start looking up Twitter feeds. This is what's going on in social media world. So-and-so's doing that. Now, you're already cross-branding now. Because they're using, people talking about their social media, what they're doing on their social media. And then you have the people who are not wrestlers on there, but they're kind of still in the business, you know what I mean? Because now it gives more of a PTI, first take type of feel. Now, because you remember, FS1 is a sports show.
Yeah.
So then the whole goal of Fox is to make SmackDown look like a sports show. They don't want it to look like wrestling and sports entertainment. They want to look like it's sports. So now you have people who are analysis looking at it, and then people are like, yo, what is this? What's going on? I know who Sam Roberts is. I know he's a wrestling fan. And then you have Peter Rosenberg, because AEW is using the same thing too. They have that dude, I forget his name right now. He does a lot of interviews online. His YouTube page is over. And he's working for AEW right now. Do you see what's going on?
Yeah.
When you add that element of realism, when people's like, yo, who is these guys? Oh, I know him from so-and-so. He sounds like an analysis now. It legitimizes the show a little bit. That's what they need to do, is legitimize the show. When you have David Atunda and you have Booker T, that's great. But they're already wrestlers. So if you're not, you can kind of be like, okay, they're probably just going to hype it up. Then I can give their honest opinion. You want this thing to feel like a shoot. The reason why it was Smack Talk, right? That's what they called it?
Yeah, I forgot what it was called.
The reason why it got over, because it felt like a shoot. Daniel wasn't working anymore.
No, because at the time he was GM.
Yeah, and it's shoot. People want to feel a shoot feel. So how do you feel a shoot feel when you kind of take away that whole aspect of it not feeling like it's wrestlers talking to you or Vince is inside their ear? The reason why Sam Roberts was such a big deal during was it NXT? Was it Survivor Series weekend? We talked about
When he talked about Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why he was so over, because it was a shoot that he did, and then it started buzzing on the internet. And then what happened after? They made her talk about it.
Yeah, she had to address it.
Yeah, she had to address it. So that adds eyes to the product. They have to use so when it goes down to it, they have to use social media, influencers, somewhat or another. Combine that. You have Renee because she's a professional.
Yeah, she'll be able to keep everyone in check.
Exactly. And then you bring the wrestlers on and having these interviews, which makes it feel like a shoot. And people are like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh, man. Ooh, yeah. Are you at the gym? And you need something to listen to? Ooh, yeah. I got an idea. How about you download the Jabba Tears podcast on anywhere you listen to podcasts? Because it gives you that. Ooh, yeah.
And people are like, yo, what the fuck?
So more like promos, I would say, or just live segments.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, for me, I honestly think they should do, I think Sports Dinner does it, where they do, like, the top 10, like, and it'd be, like, the craziest things, or, like,
they already do something down on the network.
bloopers. But it's not, like, live. It's not something, and they don't do it often. Like, they
Yeah.
used to do it all the time, like, with blunders and stuff like that, and it was the top 10 countdown, which is, like, one of my favorite shows on the network. But I feel like having the mixture or having the format like how like SportsCenter has it, where you do like a little bit of review. If you want to throw an interview in there, you can. I honestly think I think the general format should be the same, but I think the content should be
But why
be
did
very
you say that
introduced.
Sports Center type of thing? Why did you say
Well,
that?
one, because they're on FS1.
Exactly. But
like, if I wanted wrestling, I would just watch wrestling. So as it is a show, I would want it to be more. I would want it to be kind of like our opening segment, like talk about topics outside of wrestling. Talk about topics like talk about the movie that John Cena is going to be in, the Fast and Furious. Talk about The Rock, or talk about whoever. Like, I feel like it should definitely get it should get your casual viewers to want to watch the product a little bit more.
And then homeboy that used to do the top 10, he was from the New York Post. He also from WB11. Like
Shout out to WB11.
All right, well, these are some people say on the live feed. Someone said also bring back the internet title, have wrestlers go for that title, ran by fans. Someone was like, make a top 10 for the last 7 days. Someone said, quit making matches for the next Raw and SmackDown, like announcing and using the internet. A viewer choice. Someone said a ranking system based on the recent win and loss record, more in-depth superstar interviews, and more depth stats of the superstars.
Okay, yeah, ESPNC does that. They do like the stats thing. So I think we're all on the same kind of page of what we kind of would want on the show. All right, let's move right along to it is the end of the road. So a few weeks ago, I did mention how I love the partnership between AWA. I jinxed it. Sorry, guys. I spoke about a few weeks ago ROH and their partnership with NWA, which I thought was amazing, and I thought it was definitely what ROH kind of needed to breathe some life into the actual product. But apparently, they have officially split ways. So NWA and ROH will no longer be working together, unfortunately. Nick Aldis was set to wrestle at ROH's summer card. It was their show that they're doing in Toronto during SummerSlam weekend. So if you still are in the Toronto, you're going up there, you live up there, and you're going for SummerSlam weekend, check out for ROH's show. But he was supposed to be, I think, defending the title. He's supposed to be wrestling, and now he's not. He's being pulled off the card. And then also, too, you mentioned good old Billy Corgan, who is the president of NWA. He is looking to put together, how surprisingly, a weekly standalone show for NWA. How surprising is that? So my question to the table, to you gentlemen, is what are your thoughts on the split partnership? Do you think it benefits both parties? Do you think one benefits more than the other? And then do you think NWA can stand alone on their two little feet to produce a weekly show?
This is a tough one for me because I don't want to shit on anybody, especially they're trying to look at trying to figure out their dreams and stuff. So let's break it down real quick. I'm dead ass think that NWA just want to get away from the stench of ROH. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest thing that they put out a press and said it was amicable. They was like, oh man, we love each other, blah blah blah. Nah. NWA was like, nah, y'all in the gut dumps. We gotta step away and we gotta do our own thing because we're not fucking with you guys anymore. I think that was one of the biggest things that they did, especially after the decline of ROH. Now, you asked, can NWA stand alone? Mm-hmm. Anything is possible. They have to get the right deal, maybe go on Access and do something, maybe go on Fight TV, whatever. They can. The technology is there. Will they be able to be huge? I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because AEW has literally harvested the indies or the semi-indies, semi-pro, whatever you want to call it, the ROH, NWA. They have pillaged everywhere. So it's going to be hard for them to do it. Is it possible? Yes. They have to have the right backing, and they have to find their niche market that they can fuck with.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Is that right, Mr. Black? Your thoughts? What do you think about the split partnership, and do you think NWA can stand on their own?
Listen, outside of us, I don't say us. Outside of the really super fans of the indies, no, because they haven't hit the general pop. They haven't hit no one. Like no one really knows about NWA or Ring of Honor like that. So unless they go on a real channel that people actually could find, easily could find, like that, like, okay, I could identify it. It's easy to find on every single major network carrier in the U.S. and around the world. Yeah, that's as far as both of them. But as far as both of them, no. It's just like, no. Outside of the hardcore indie fans, who else knows about ROH? Nobody.
I mean, a lot of people do know about ROH.
Nah, they don't.
Like
No.
what?
I think they do.
Right. The keyword. Like you said, right? It was just like how that. If anybody going to look for ROH outside, like when you mention professional wrestling, they think of WWE. That's it. Like, man, there is a subdivision. Oh, I heard this AEW, heard a little buzzing, another subdivision. Oh, I saw this Impact thing on YouTube, this, that, and third, blah, 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 blah. But even then, that's even more of a niche find for certain fans who just casually looking for wrestling. So for them to find NWA and Ring of Honor is already hard enough. So unless they get on a poppin' network and how things are going as far as TV-wise, a lot of people say TV is dying and like more stuff's going on demand.
Well, for those that do not know, ROH is on the Fight app on demand. On their weekly TV shows are on the Fight app, which is, I think, probably the best accessible thing for, like you said, like, I mean, like, fans not like us.
If they go smart enough, they go something like more common that a lot of people just know, like the Bleacher Report app. That's more a little bit more exposable. Not if I ask for somebody that who just know fighting. You know what the Fight app is? No, you heard Bleacher Report? Yeah, I saw a little thing that third.
Well, with the
Bleacher,
Fight app, the plus about Fight app though is it's not only wrestling. They have boxing, they have MMA, they have a whole bunch of different like stuff that is in that category.
But again, do you see any ads for it on YouTube? I mean, on Instagram? No. But you
yeah, if there's a boxing match,
you're
and
missing
it's on
the
the
point.
Fight
No.
I'm
You're
just
missing
answering
the
your
point.
question.
But you don't see it advertised as much. Like it's like only reason I know about it pops up because I'm in that scene. But someone who casually watching, they're not gonna see that. They'll see a Bleacher Report or something like that. It's just like this. It's all about getting exposure on your product on the most popular app. And a lot of times, hiring AEW on a Bleacher Report, that was great because Bleacher Report is very accessible to get to, and you see it advertised on their YouTube page.
Isn't AEW exclusive? Have like an exclusive contract? Like they can't have wrestling on there?
I don't know.
So I think it's a good point of getting that on the Bleacher Report app. But it's just you have to also understand. I don't think they can do it though.
So again, it's just like a niche audience from both ends. There's people that not everybody watch indies. Simple as that.
So the question is, it's what the real question is that he's trying to say, and like it makes sense. What are the expectations? What is there going to be the expectations going into this huge move? Because you can't lean on ROH, and ROH can't lean on you, on NWA. So what are the expectations in a situation? Because honestly speaking, when you're dating somebody for a while, you kind of get lazy, which is ROH got very, 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 very lazy. Because that's what happened to them. Once again, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think NWA is going to be huge. They'll find their little niche market, but their expectations better not be high.
Well, no,
And ROH smells. That's why they want to get rid of it.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, I actually agree with you in that sense where they probably saw ROH being fucking Titanic and saw the ship sinking and they was like, we got to get the fuck off the boat. But I honestly don't think. I think NWA was getting the notice because of ROH. Like I didn't even know that, when we started even the league, like I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna pick up Jazz because she's the NWA Women's Champion, and I was like, well, fuck it, I know they wrestle every other week, so those are point. Like I feel like they got he was smart in a sense of collaborating with them because it kind of kickstarted everyone knowing what NWA is. If we look back on even like our first 10 episodes of the podcast, we would have never spoken about NWA in our podcast. So I think them reaching a level of, being noticed on that ROH level, even though it may not be a high level, it still is a level of recognition. So now that they feel like they kind of got that smudge, let's say it's like someone like, if we had a guest on here and then they blow up, you know what I mean? Like they's like, all right, we're gonna use this platform and then we're gonna venture off and we're gonna, be bigger than what it is. And,
it's just that ROH got ugly, and NWA decided to leave him alone.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, before we end off our opening segment, let's go with the rumor of this week. So, generation versus generation. So, WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus. I don't know. So apparently, the rumor here is that WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus may be working a match in her hometown of Toronto, Canada, and for SummerSlam. And they're currently in the works of, having, to work out details and all the, the works for the match. So, ironically enough, Charlotte this past week on SmackDown, and we'll talk about SmackDown a little bit, demanded to be on the SummerSlam card. So, as you know, it will be for the SmackDown Women's title. You have Ember Moon versus Bayley. You have, for the Raw Women's title, you have Becky Lynch versus Natalya. So Charlotte Flair is putting her feet down and putting her Flair hat on and saying, I need a match. And she, on her Twitter, proclaimed to be the greatest female superstar of all time, end quote. So reportedly, that is the kind of kickstart of this match, of where it would be Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair. So what are you already saying it's trash, but what is to the table? What are your thoughts on what this could possibly be? I mean, it really, it gave me, it reminded me of the Gail Kim Tessa Blanchard kind of match in a sense, because you had Gail
Kim still knows how to wrestle.
Or whatever. You have Gail, who was basically,
don't disrespect Gail.
Whatever. You have Gail, who was the pivotal, superstar of the women's division in Impact, versus the current, Impact, superstar, female superstar. So now you have Trish Stratus, who at the time was one of the biggest divas, women wrestlers at that time, versus Charlotte Flair, who is Charlotte Flair. So my question to the table, gentlemen, what do you think about this possible match?
I don't care for it.
Okay, so I want this. I'm glad this is on audio, because when people talk about women's wrestling and then all this trash talk, you can't sit here and want better or want something.
No.
I don't care.
No. Just because I said that I don't care for this match doesn't mean I don't care for women's wrestling. So don't put me. No. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair, because I ain't a fan of Trish Stratus. So
I would rather you say I'm not a fan of Trish, so I have no particular opinion about it, versus saying I don't care, because to someone that can come off saying, well, I don't care about women's wrestling. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. The question was, how do you feel about this match?
And then the answer should have been that I don't actually particularly care for Trish Stratus. I've never been a fan, so I would not be a fan of this match because of Trish Stratus.
You asked me.
The end.
Wow, you trying to really Jermaine Dupri me. You asked me, how do I feel about this particular match?
Right.
You didn't ask me how I feel about women wrestling as an entirety.
No, I know, but is it not a part of women's wrestling?
No. That's not fair.
Okay.
You asked me one component of something of a match.
That component is a part of the underlining thing of
no,
women's
it's
wrestling.
not.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's totally different.
Okay.
It's totally different. Like, for example, like, if I like pizza, you ask me, what do you think of Domino's pizza? I don't like Domino's pizza. So you're saying you like pizza in general? No. It's one particular thing you're asking me that so happened to be supposed to be pizza.
Okay.
Just because I don't like Domino's pizza doesn't mean I don't like pizza.
Okay.
So that's not fair to you say that.
All right.
That's all the way not fair.
All right. If it's not all the way fair, but I got the answer, and I got you to explain yourself. That's really why I asked the question. That's actually why I said what I said, so that you can explain yourself without you saying I don't care, because that leaves the viewers to be like, well, what kind of opinion does he have? You saying you don't care?
No, that's not fair.
You saying you don't care?
That's not fair. No,
it's basically saying I don't care because I'm not a fan of Trish Stratus. The end. That's all I was. That's all I.
You
I was
asked me about a particular
pulling
match.
it out of you. It's
you
okay.
dead tried Jermaine Dupri me.
I didn't though.
Yes, you did.
I didn't though.
Yes,
but
you
okay.
did. Wow.
Okay.
How you tried Jermaine Dupri me.
Okay.
That was
You
funny
asked
though.
me.
That was funny. That Jermaine Dupri line is funny.
Yo, you asked
Jermaine
me
Dupri line
a
is funny.
question about a particular match. So it's happening as with women, but then that was mad sexist.
It
Like,
wasn't
yo,
how is it
you
sexist?
filed for that. You filed for
How
that.
is that
son.
sexist? Explain that to me.
Yo, everybody knows this.
How is
Everybody
that
talks to me in
sexist?
person. Everybody knows me. I'm a big component of women's wrestling. I talk about women's wrestling. I talk to you about
you're
this.
taking it so
No,
personally
that's not
and
fair.
so emotionally, and it's not that serious. The reason why I said what I said was so that you can explain yourself, because what you like to do is you like to answer the question and then to give 3 words and no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. So I said what I said, and I got out of you saying I don't like Trish Stratus, so that the viewers know why you don't care about the matches, because you've never been a Trish Stratus fan.
The only good thing about this match is Charlotte Flair.
You foul.
I'm not
The
foul. You're just
only-
mad.
And
You can be mad. I don't
No,
care.
you just
I
made the
don't
pre-me
care.
just now. You dead.
I
You made the
didn't, though.
pre-me,
That's a
and
really
then
good
like
line.
had a you
Damn, I
really
used that
did.
line.
You dead
I
every
didn't,
did.
though.
Use that
Like
line,
you
though.
asked me a particular thing that's so happening just to be women involved. And
Right.
you try to make me look
And
sexist
then- and I
in
didn't.
front of
I
everybody.
didn't try to let you look
Everybody knows
sexist.
that Mr. Black loves his women, especially his
Exactly.
black women. But if I
Exactly.
say,
And,
yo,
just so
I
everyone
don't
knows, these
care
aren't two
for
black
this.
women, though.
Like if I don't care for this match, does not mean nothing. Like for example,
But it does mean
if-
something,
No, let's
because
go even
you
deeper
said you don't like Trish Stratus. Like that was, I got what I needed out of the answer, because you sat here and said, I don't care. You saying I don't care does not really answer the question. Therefore,
Then
I
say that.
triggered you.
Then say
You're
that.
welcome.
That's not fair.
And it is fair. I triggered you,
gaslighting
and that's
me.
okay.
That's gaslighting
and
right
that
there.
happens.
Typical Virgo jump off.
That happens.
Gaslighting niggas.
Oh well. And that shit happens. And guess what? You answered the question. Now everyone knows why you don't care about the match. And they don't
the
sit,
better
and
question,
they don't sit here
the
and
better
say,
question, the better question is this: why
It is a
don't
good
you like the match? Why don't you care for it? But you saying that
I
because
took it
you like
another
some-
level up. So, and then you
that's
had to
foul.
defend yourself.
No,
That's okay.
So,
no.
okay.
Other than the fact
Rumor-
that how you try
rumor-
to gaslight
really
me.
didn't.
Rumor-
Yes, you
rumor-
did.
fine.
Rumor
It's
of the
okay.
week. Rumor of the week is look what it is. Look what it is. The match is trash. The match is Trish can't wrestle.
Is it though?
No. Trish,
You biased too, because
I'm
you
not
know why?
biased.
You're a
How the
fan
hell
of
am I
Trish.
biased?
You're a fan of Trish.
How am I biased? And I'm a fan of Charlotte Flair. Like, what the fuck?
No, but the-
How am I biased?
That's biased, but yeah,
I like the both of them.
If I said Lita and someone else you don't like, yo, F that hoe.
I would have said
that
F
hoe.
Lita, but I would have never said, oh, fuck the match.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
I
Yes, you
said
have.
fuck Lita. I will clearly say that any day of the fucking week.
Why do you still hate
But
Lita?
if the
She don't even know
Man,
you.
Listen,
She don't know you.
Man, listen.
Because if
You
you
was
if you
there?
really want to
Loyalty,
get down,
loyalty.
That's
you-
pettiness.
hold on,
you
hold
don't
on.
know these people.
You
You went to Bad House before. You chill with him. You smoke with him. You did hookah with him. You don't know these
but
people.
you also gotta understand, like, you have to look at Jeff Jarrett's wife,
Yeah, she's an interesting character herself.
AJ Lee.
You like Stephanie
Asian-
though.
Yup.
You like Stephanie. You don't say nothing bad about her, right? And
I
she,
met her.
what happened? What
I
happened?
met
What
her.
happened? What happened? Oh, you're not mad at her, right?
I
Because
never said
you
I
a
wasn't
pretty
mad.
woman.
but hold
I
on.
never said I wasn't
But hold on,
mad.
hold on.
And on top of that,
I never said that either,
and on
so
top of
that's
that,
cool.
Stephanie Dead took the chick's man, got her fired, and kept her at the Hall of Fame. But yeah, you love her though, right?
But was it actually
Bias.
Stephanie that kept her out of the Hall of Fame, or
Bias.
was
She-
it someone
yo,
else?
Real talk. Stephanie don't talk about the women's revolution, but yeah, AJ started that. But yeah, you love Stephanie,
I'm
like
sorry,
hijacking people and
Stephanie
disrespecting people, right?
Stephanie never talked about the women's revolution. I'm
And she
sorry.
tried to be a sensitive Everett, right?
That she never spoke about that shit. Okay.
Come on, I don't want to hear
Cool
that.
story,
I
bro.
don't want to hear that.
You're just big mad, and it's okay.
No, you're
I can live
biased.
with
You're
it.
not fair. You're biased.
And you're not either, because you sat here in a biased opinion and was like, because I don't like Trish Stratus, I don't like the match. That's some biased shit, because you're not now paying attention to the bigger picture because you have an agenda
But
against Trish
no,
Stratus.
that's not
what
fair.
it
But
is.
then you attacked
That's
me
okay.
for my
I
love
didn't
of women
attack
wrestling.
you. I did not
How
attack
you said that? How
I
you
didn't-
said that?
I
But that's not
asked a
fair.
question.
That's
did
not
I not?
fair.
Did I not follow up with
But
a
that's
question?
not fair.
Did I
Yo,
not? Did I
that's
not do my
fair.
job?
You
It's
dead
okay.
Jermaine
Hi, guys.
Dupri.
It's okay.
You talk
This
about
is
how
Wilkins
that.
here.
You
It's
talk
okay.
about
These
how
two are
that.
Don't worry
arguing.
about it.
Yo,
I'm
you
not
talk about
arguing.
that. You're not fair.
I got no.
Typical
listen,
Virgo jump off. You
listen,
gaslight people.
you're
When I
mad,
press you on it,
you're
you
mad.
lie about
Yeah,
it.
no one's lying.
Can we
I didn't
move on?
lie.
Can we move on?
No, we're not, because he want to sit here and test my character. Like I sat here and lied. I asked a question.
No,
He
we're-
answered the
we'll
question,
talk-
and he defended
it's getting
himself.
hot in here.
So,
Ladies and
that's
gentlemen,
not my
I
fault.
don't like women's wrestling.
That's not my
What?
fault. So you're mad about that? I asked a question.
That's not
Did you
my-
not
no,
defend
but
yourself?
you just
Did
said
you
that
not
has that-
sit
but
here?
then-
Did you
but
not
then
sit
you
here
did
and
tell me
defend
that-
yourself?
No, that's
yes
not
or no?
right.
Did you
That's not
defend
right. You
yourself? Yes
gaslighted
or
me
no?
and
I
the fact
didn't.
that I had that-
I asked
ask
you
a proper question.
I
Ask a proper question next time.
And I asked
Yo,
a
conversation's
question.
done. That's clip for
it's
that.
not. No, just because you're finished with the conversation does not mean, oh, that's typical cancer shit. When you really want to have a conversation and you want to communicate, your ass don't know how to communicate. Typical cancer shit, if that's where you want to go. So, to move right along to the Raw and SmackDown recap, WWE recap of this week, I had the pleasure of being at Raw
Whoa,
Live.
hold on. Wait. wait. Time out.
Oh, what
Time
happened?
out.
What?
Niggas didn't get my opinion
Oh.
on Trish
Oh,
Stratus.
you know what? You right.
On
My
Charlotte-
bad.
on
My
Charlotte
bad.
Flair.
Let me throw it to you. Let me throw the question to you, so I'm not biased or I'm
Why
not
you tell
saying
that nigga-
some
why
shit.
you tell that nigga
So
that
I'm
you
not
don't like
saying
women's
some
wrestling
shit.
then?
So
Freak
Sir
outta here.
Wilkins, let me ask you the question. What are your honest thoughts on Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair possibly happening at SummerSlam in Canada? Go.
Y'all way too hot right now for no
I'm
apparent
not
reason.
hot.
But let's break it down. The only reason why this is happening is because one, Trish is from Canada. They're gonna need to sell some fucking tickets. She's over in Canada. Trish is done. Her last match in the at that pay-per-view was trash. Was trash. We'll leave it off. We got like a half an hour left. So it was trash. It wasn't good. It wasn't really good unless she has gotten better and got back into the ring and getting her. You saw the ring rust. She can still move,
Yeah.
because she's in shape, but the ring rust was definitely there. Number two, the best thing about this match is Charlotte Flair in this match, and I'm gonna tell you why. One, her ring ability is still fucking phenomenal, so she's gonna have to carry Trish. Trish is not Goldberg, so the match will be somewhat decent. Number two, I love what they did with her when she demanded a match at SummerSlam. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because they are blurring the lines of reality and wrestling. Because people complain about Charlotte Flair using
the best and
no,
using her name.
using her name and then getting a bunch of shit that she doesn't deserve. Awesome work. And as much as people complain about the storylines and stuff like that, when I saw that, I looked on the Jabba Tears group page. What the fuck? Why is she getting a title shot? This is some bullshit. Or no. Why is she getting a match? Pardon me. Why is she getting a match? This is some bullshit. I was like, y'all fell right into this shit. Y'all fell right into what they were saying. And I love what they did. This match is not going to be good. It's going to be all right.
That's gonna be okay.
It's going to be okay because Charlotte will carry it. And I'm pretty sure Trish got that crazy eye. So she might put that extra because she knows she's going against Charlotte.
And she in her hometown.
And she's in her own, so she got to prove it. So she might prove me wrong. But on paper right now, this match is not going to be great. It's going to be an okay match, and people are going to get pissed.
I think on paper.
On paper right now.
But
she might prove me wrong. I don't think it's going to be a decent match.
No, I mean on paper because once again you have two eras going at each other.
I think the build-up will be good done correctly. Now the problem is with WWE when it comes to especially the women's division, when it comes to building up shit, is not done right. Because they only can do one storyline at a fucking time when it comes to the women's division.
Can't have two things going on at
They
once.
They can't have two things going on at once. And that's the main problem, which is why people are complaining about. And they have right to complain. You have a bunch of chicks on the roster, but it seems like you can't work more than one storyline at a time. It should be two, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure they're going to drop the ball. They're going to rush through the shit. And
what if it opens SummerSlam? Then what?
But I'm talking about, you talked about the buildup.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. We need to be excited. Any sports, there's a buildup. There's promo done. And that's the problem when it comes to women's division. There's no buildup.
I mean, unfortunately, any buildup is gonna just seem quick because we're about, I would say, 3 weeks away from SummerSlam.
So then you get creative with it. You get creative with it.
So they're gonna have to do double work. It's gonna have to be like something on SmackDown and Raw.
No, you don't have to do that. Tweet about it. Use the social media. You guys talk about how much millions of followers you have. Use what you have.
I think because they're already using that for Becky and Natalya.
Then use it again. Use it again. Post it on your YouTube page. Post it on your Instagram. What needs to be done? The one thing I love about AEW is that they utilize the YouTube page. Road to All Out, they're utilizing that. WWE, you have all of that on your YouTube, and if they've been utilizing, have them use that 24/7.
Yeah.
So then fully use it even more.
We'll see. We'll see on the weeks to come.
Trash match.
May not be. All right, let's do our WWE recap this week real quickly. Raw Reunion was this past Monday. I was there. I thought it was dope. Honestly speaking, I thought it was better than Raw 25. I just thought the production. I just thought how it all rolled out. Because
Raw 25 was a hot mess.
Right.
It was a hot mess.
Hot.
So there's no reason to, you
Hot
can't
boy
compare.
mess.
You can't compare a
Well,
mess to a
no,
clean
I just
house.
always felt like when you have that whole, like, people always complain, like, when, the old timers come and do this and do that. I think they strategically did. They did it justice to me. And the arena felt the vibe. Like, it was like, that's John Cena pop. Whoa.
Where were you though?
In the building.
No, but where was Raw 25 at?
Here in Brooklyn.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Where was the Raw reunion at?
In Tampa.
Exactly. That is going to be where WrestleMania is going to be.
Yeah.
So that's a wrestling city.
It is, but it isn't.
It isn't, but it isn't. But you did
a lot of like good guys are from that area.
Yeah. So you did two things. You did Raw reunion, and it's also a semi. If you want to give it semi wrestling city. So they're gonna have that feeling in the building when you have every fucking star besides The Rock on that fucking
Who
card.
was at the performance center and didn't pop up.
And
It's
Bubba
okay.
Ray.
He declined an invite, I guess. But all right, guys, one up, one down.
Bully Ray.
Let's go. What were your thoughts?
Let me go down. The whole click, whatever crap thing in me jiggy. I'm about to go off about this. Seth Rollins is freaking corny.
So corny.
And I'm going to tell you why. Seth Rollins is Tom Brady. I'm going to break it down to you. Tom Brady, the reason why he's Tom Brady, last year's was his version of getting suspension by the NFL and coming back being like, I got to prove everyone wrong. It was his suspension year, just like Tom Brady suspension's year. So similar to that, he was the man. He was undeniable. He had that swag. He had that like to him. He walked around, yo, I respect Tom Brady and I like him, just like Seth Rollins. Now, the next year, he won a Super Bowl. He won the Universal Championship. They both got corny. They become very company guys. Tom Brady was where the MAGA hat. He was like, nigga, what are you doing? Seth Rollins talking about he's the best companies to work for. Nigga, shut up and play. So overall, Seth Rollins reminded me of that quarterback that was a star of a franchise, but you keep him around, you like, but you're corny because like you think that how you're good, but it's just like your personality is so mediocre at best. So this is why like the whole click situation is like, my nigga, listen, at the end of the day, DX and stuff like that, that's getting real stale and old. How many teams are you gonna bury over the years? Once again, Honcho by your man Triple H, once again, still burying dudes as he
Who did
getting
he bury
people.
now?
Come on, the OC. Like you didn't have
didn't
to, like,
bury,
but
though.
you didn't have to
I
do
hate
that.
that name.
Like you didn't have to do that. What are you doing that for? You attacked him, make him look like cows for what? That looks whack.
It
That's
doesn't
played
look-
out.
That's just what it is.
And you have like Seth Rollins. Yeah, Seth Rollins is corny. I mean, look like he's all that, but yeah, he's corny.
No, but I think that's just really how Seth is.
No, Seth. If that's the case though, to me, Seth's trying too hard. I like when Seth is just not saying, I don't care, because he has something to prove. Again, Tom Brady. That his year when he came back, when he had all those excellent matches, when Tom Brady, when the NFL suspended and stuff like that, he came out hot. So this is why to me that whole segment was whack, because like it did nothing for nobody. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So I say my of course, everybody knows my favorite up is of course Bray Wyatt. Once again, Mick Foley being Mick Foley, understanding that I gotta take this boy to make him a man. Once again, he did it for The Rock. He did it for Edge. He did it for Randy Orton. He did it for Triple H. He did it for Undertaker. He did it for Big Show. He did it for Vader. He did it for Sting. He did it for a lot of people because you know why? Mick Foley understand the business. Shout out to Weed and Wrestling because we had that conversation about that. That was the concept of bringing legends back and getting these new guys over, giving them a proper rug. Now, Bray Wyatt using that could be one of his arsenals that he used. Like maybe like him attacking different people, he takes something for them and uses it against them, like a fiend. Like, I'm going to take your finish and use it as mine.
Yo, I will say,
So-
that was the best thing, him doing the Man of a Claw.
So
I'm never going to hold you to it.
outside of that, it as an entirety, to me, it came off as this is a season finale, and this is the proper way to end it. Have a reunion show. It felt like a sitcom where like all your favorite characters come back, and this is it. This is end. And if this means, to me, it came off as season finale, and after that, if I'm right, then you should see usher in a new era of WWE. Because every time they do something like this, they always usher in something new. They always, at season finale this, by having these big grand shows, and the next couple of weeks, they usher in something new.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you saw the taste of it on SmackDown. It felt like a different feel because last night was the season finale.
Well, apparently not. I mean, for rumors in the industry is that they're gonna do another draft. Right before, I do believe, if not right after SummerSlam, then between SummerSlam and when they go live on Fox, they're talking about doing another draft. So we'll see. I kind of like where you're going with that kind of idea of like season finale thing, and I think you raised a really good point, especially with Bray. And then the next night on SmackDown, which we'll get to, I thought was phenomenal, and they're using the Fiend right. Sir Wilkins, one up, one down.
This, I enjoyed it, but it was like a car crash that you enjoy. It was messy.
NASCAR.
It was really messy, and
What made it so messy?
It was all over the place. It was all over the place. But it was fun. It was one of, you ever been to a Jamaican bashment?
Yeah, Bashman.
And it's a mess. It always starts late, never starts on time. Everybody's all over the place, but it's a vibe.
Okay.
And it's never in like some fancy hall. It's somebody's basement. You see the grandmother just walking around.
And you know what? Here is a good tidbit. Now, it was a part of the reason why I went to Raw in Tampa, because I was scoping out Tampa, which is the host city of WrestleMania 36 in 2020. If you are going to Raw and SmackDown, it will probably be in the same arena, the Amalie Arena, where the Tampa Bay Lightnings play. Do not sit anywhere higher than the 200s. You heard it first.
Why?
Do not. It's not one of the arenas where you can sit. It's not like Barclays, where you can sit anywhere and you're fine, even if you're sitting in the high ups. If you're sitting in them 300s, you are going to either be blocked because their screen is so big.
Yeah.
Their center screen is huge. So you're either going to be blocked by the screen, or you're going to be blocked by the lights from when the crew sets up everything for, Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
But just a little tidbit. If you are going to go to Tampa for Mania next year, do not sit anything higher than the 200s. You are going to be disappointed. If you are not going to do TV side, then I would do, what section was in? 217, 218, because it almost looks like you're watching it at home. So that's my little tidbit, those that are going to Tampa.
Yeah, so it was fun. It was fun. I popped when John Cena came out. We forget.
Said, "Yo, your mug shots." I said, "Oh,
yeah, he's good at what he does.
You went low.
He's good at what he does. I love how the Usos were able to like joke around with him. Now, one of my major downs in the whole situation it is Seth, and you have to understand. And the reason why Seth is not a babyface, he's a tweener. We have to understand that. A babyface, you require a level of charisma, that has to be on another level. That's why Roman didn't work. That's why it felt forced. Seth Rollins is a tweener. I talked about this on the podcast before. When he had the chair, he was running around with that chair, it felt legit. You know what I mean? It felt legit. When you're building your character, especially a guy like him, you can't force it. He's not a super baby face. He's trying to pretend to be the super baby face. He's not. That's not who you are. That is just point blank. You're not a super baby face. So that was my biggest thing from that. Was like,
so weird. He was like, I got 2 words. I was sitting here like, really? I'm like,
because he's not that guy. He's not that guy.
That's super weird.
We have to understand that he's not that guy, and he's trying to be that guy. And when it comes off force, especially when now we have social media, and when you're saying all these things and you just sound like a cornball.
But I really think he is kind of
Yeah, but regardless, stop trying to be cool. He's trying too hard.
Trying to be with the cool kids.
Yeah, he's trying too hard, and that's what he's not that guy.
All right, so then what is your up?
My up was John.
Oh, John Cena.
John came in, and I hate when the show starts with a promo. I hate when they start off with a promo. But him coming out and getting the crowd hyped.
Yeah, because honestly speaking, if they didn't open it up with a legend, it just would have been like...
Yeah, it would have been a waste of time. But the thing about it was great. Was, and I also have a little mini up. I just like seeing Cedric on the TV.
What?
Cedric Alexander on TV.
Oh,
it's just...
Shit is a great thing.
No, because he's getting burned. He's being utilized. And I wouldn't be mad if they put him in a match with McIntyre at SummerSlam.
Do it.
To get McIntyre over.
Let me see what else. Since I was there, it was just a good vibe. I was glad I went.
It was packed, right?
Yes, it was kind of sold out. And literally, so of course, I'm last minute Sally. So I get to Tampa Sunday night and I see a ticket for like 96. I was like, nah, you know what? I'll buy it in the morning. It'll go down. Nah, them bitches started going all the way up at 7 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning. I was like, oh shit, niggas is buying tickets, so I gotta buy my ticket. But it was worth it.
What was the vibe when Hogan came out?
Yo, they fucking marked out. It was ridiculous. I was sitting there, boo, and because he's from Tampa.
Okay, I thought he was from Orlando.
He's from Tampa. So literally every person, like when I walked into the arena, every other person was like in a Hogan shirt, and I was just like, fuck that. But they popped for him, but that's his hometown, and he's like, let me tell you something, brother. I was like, oh Lord, let me go to the bathroom quickly because I knew Rick was gonna come out after that. I was like, let me go to the bathroom real quick and come
back.
What
were the pops? Who had the biggest pops besides Hogan?
Cena, Flair. Oh man, when that glass shattered.
The building shook.
I kid you not. And honestly, I thought also when it came out on a 4-wheeler, that's how hot it was at that moment. It was like, oh shit, this nigga about to drive down, roll around. But he came out and he thanked the crowd, he thanked everybody, as y'all saw on Monday Night Raw. And then even after I think USA cut him off because he said, how much longer I got? And it was like 60 seconds. So after that, he still was drinking. Fucking shout out to Lillian Garcia for fucking drinking. She chugged a whole beer. I was like, my girl, like that shit was dope.
Lillian's the GOAT.
Lillian literally had a whole ass beer on her, like legit. It was a good vibe. I'm glad I went. It was definitely. Doing stuff like that makes you more excited for WrestleMania. Like, to be honest, because you get to learn a little about the city. You feel a little bit more comfortable around. Like, I think it's just always good to like kind of scope out the whole city so what's going on. Like, I did it for New Orleans. I went to New Orleans like 3 months before Mania, and then I scoped it out, and then I had a great time.
But before we move on, I just want to if nobody has heard, Seth Rollins been like real busy on social media lately.
He's still popping shit.
Like popping a lot of shit. And the one thing he said that Will Ospreay doesn't understand about working for the best wrestling company in the world.
Debatable.
Since we have a little bit of time, I kind of want to talk about that. What do you guys think about that?
What do you think about it?
What's the question?
Will Ospreay, Seth Rollins. What do you think about it?
To be honest with you, Seth Rollins been in the big leagues for too long. You forget where he came from. Because it's the same one that who complaining about him changing hair color because of John Morrison. It's the same one that used to work these Ring of Honor shows, all these shows that understand that, yo, I went over here just for a handshake, just for a look for your next show. He forget his grassroots. He came where he came from. Nigga, you been spoiled way too much. Nigga, go back to your beginning. Go back to your roots and understand that how that Will Ospreay is one of the greatest. He's probably better than you. In my opinion, he is better than you. But yet, I think that's more like a sense of jealousy. The sense of like, dang, John Moxley's over here doing whatever he wants, living his best life, freedom, and you don't have to worry about doing a stupid interview in the morning and just be all over the place. He can actually enjoy his life. To me, he's real talk. I think that he's honestly is jealous of Will Ospreay and all these other guys, and he's basically just trying to cover it up because just saying doing over the top promo and stuff like that. He's the best, this, that, third, to hide some kind of insecurity he has within himself. Because you're on the top of the mountain, what else you're fighting for? So you got to fight for something. You know, people look at it, and people might say something about relationship and all that, him being buddy-buddy. So he's definitely doing some insecurities within himself. For him to come at Will Ospreay for what? Will Ospreay is minding his business, banging some Asian chicks, doing how he do, traveling the world, living his best life, and being one of the best wrestlers his way. Seth, you forgot where you came from. You know, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna call you Seth no more. I'm gonna call you Tyler Black to remind you of your humble roots.
Okay, so Wilkins, your thoughts?
Well, I think he wants to be the top guy. He wants to be the face of the company, and he's trying really, really, really fucking hard. And that's what we talked about. Homeboy's corny. Yeah. Homeboy's kind of a cornball, and he doesn't know how to maneuver the right way and say what needs to be said. Now, he said that John Moxley, he's like, that's my brother, this and that. And but the thing about it, he's taking food off my plate. I have no problem with that comment. And I'm going to tell you why. Everybody else does. Everybody says, well, he needs to shut the fuck up. He needs to keep his mouth shut. Nah. This is war. This is fucking war. And people was like, well, WWE's up top, so why they worrying about somebody down low? No. I love when people like to say who can be the bigger man in a situation and who cannot. No. Cody wants to say what he has to say about WWE. Nothing wrong with that. Why are we siding with them? Keep the same energy. If Seth says you're taking food off my plate, because technically you are. Because if AEW gets big enough, you start taking money off at my pocket. This is ball. Let's play ball. My friend is playing for the other team. Mm-hmm. So you know what? You're on the other team. You're playing with the enemy. That is the enemy. So why can't I say taking food? Because technically you are. Because you're going to help the competition get bigger. And the competition is taking money out of my pocket. If I gotta re-up a new contract, and WWE is not making enough money because they are losing money. I looked at the numbers yesterday.
They've been losing
Shit's on a major decline. So I don't have a problem with him saying that. Now the Will Ospreay comment, when he talks about Will, he said WWE is the best company in the world.
He said, check my bank account, bitch.
That was whack. That was trash.
That was funny though.
That was trash.
But
the biggest thing is like, because there was no need for it. We're talking about ring skills. That's what we were talking about at that time. Now, his other comment about, oh, hey, WWE is the best company in the world. Yes and no. When it comes to being the biggest wrestling promotion, yes, it is. It makes the most money. If you see the numbers, it is light speed ahead of every other company. When it comes to like the money that they generate, their social media following, their merch attendance. But in ring, it's not the best. We sit at the table, we know it's not the best because they have to scale back a lot when it comes to what's done in the ring. So he's wrong on that part. But at the same time, as corny as this dude sounds, as corny as Seth sounds, I have no problem with it because you know why? This is my home. This is my team. My name is on the back, but in the front is my team.
I agree.
So you can't get mad at that.
I mean, I'm not mad at Seth per se. Like,
It's not you, but the IWC is all over him. Like, yo, he's mad whack for that.
What people are gonna
he's
say,
mad
though.
whack for that. Why is he comparing himself? Because you shouldn't compare. Like, yo, that's my direct competition. Not so much Will, but John is my direct competition. Should Seth have just kept his mouth shut? Maybe, yes.
But then then on the flip side, it's a catch-22 no matter what. Because then on the flip side, you could be like, he's mad pussy. He should have said something. You know what I mean?
He should have been more better with his words.
Yeah, it's not what you say.
It's how you say it. It's how you say it. But like I said before, my boy is my direct competition. So you know what? Let's go to war.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about SmackDown real quick. SmackDown was in Miami.
Welcome to Miami.
I did. Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, what if I just do one more day and go back down to Miami? I was like, nah, it's too much. So one up, one down.
With
American Airlines.
So that's where the Heat play?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one up, one down for this week.
Yo, I don't care what nobody. SmackDown was fire.
SmackDown was good.
SmackDown was real good.
SmackDown was, especially, I'm sorry, that whole, and you know how I really feel about Ziggler, but that whole Ziggler, Miz, Shawn Michaels little tidbit, I was surprised at how
that's Shawn Michaels' babies.
Dope it was.
Those are his offsprings.
No, but you know what was crazy about it? Like, I was sitting there, I was like, yo, like, it didn't remind me so much of Triple H and Shawn when they went against each other, but in that same aspect of, like, best friends. And when you have, you know, you going against the person you know the best, you bring out the best out of each other. And I think having Miz versus Ziggler, is actually it's gonna be something to watch. I feel it in my bones. I don't know.
No, it's gonna be a great match.
I think it's gonna be something to watch. But one up, one down. Let's go.
There was no down for me for when it came to SmackDown, and I'm gonna tell you why. From top to bottom, it was well done. Cause you look at it. Once again, Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon, it felt authentic. Even though it's a little Stone Cold and Vince, but it still felt fresh somewhat because Kevin knows what the fuck he's doing. We look at Apollo Crews versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It was dope. But the thing about it, now you're putting Apollo Crews in the picture now because after Shinsuke does that, this might be Apollo who's trying to get might be a feud that they start with together. You know what I mean? This is something that might start there, and I appreciate that they're trying to get new stars in there. Quickly, you mentioned something about that season finale and the draft. Eric Bischoff was in the back at Raw, and he talked to Mike Canales about maybe we should come over.
Yeah.
So
he threw in that
just
plug.
remember when I said that they should do something where it's like agents trying to like grab you from other shows, stuff like that. I've been saying that since we started the podcast. But anyways, this was extremely well done. Like you talk about the Dolph Ziggler,
Ooh, man, I was
Shawn Michaels,
surprised.
and The Miz, because once again, this is what I said before about the Charlotte situation. You're using what people already say in the real world and bringing it on show. And that's Shawn Michaels talking about Dolph being a wannabe Shawn Michaels.
Be him. He was like, "You are a wannabe you." I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, exactly. So
Damn.
that's really well
Rough.
done. Amber versus Charlotte, it was good. It was good.
I like the end of it. Well, let your brother get some 2 bits, but I more like the end of the match than the actual match. But that's neither here nor there. And shout out to her hair being on point this week. Someone's listening. That's all I'm gonna say. Mr. Black, 1 up, 1 down.
It was good. But again, my biggest down is Samoa Joe.
Getting fucking jobbed every fucking week.
So other than that, I guess one of my highlights that I really did enjoy was New Day on commentary.
Yeah, that is the most
And-
ignorant thing.
and honestly, they should go back to doing that. Suba's not doing much, put them on the commentary. You know, get them to burn and run. It makes people remind them, okay, cool. They should do that in the beginning of the PG era. They had Miz on commentary. They had CM Punk on commentary. They had Tyson Kidd on commentary. Made different people on commentary because it was injured. They had one of the Usos on commentary. So I just feel like this is something to bring back and continue every week because it's something new, give a new voice, give a new listening ear. It keeps commentary
Yeah, I had
fresh.
got home right at that time, and I kept saying, it's like, who the fuck is on who's talking? And then when the camera panned on them, I said, these niggas.
And it was good. Overall, SmackDown once again was nice paced. Everything's very enjoyable. It was very bite-sized. Again, it didn't feel like a Raw show where like it's a traditional TV show. It felt like a wrestling show. From top to bottom, definitely enjoyable. It reminds you why you like SmackDown, why SmackDown was infamous for having a SmackDown 6.
Well, you know what's the biggest thing of why this move to Fox is important for SmackDown?
Super big.
Is this puts SmackDown on the same level as Raw when it comes to importance. Because for so long, as we all talk about, and the wrestling community talks about how SmackDown's a better brand. You know how that was that wild the back and forth when it came to that. Raw always felt like it was the flagship show, and it was more importance was put on there. They cared about Raw because it's been there longer.
It's the longest reigning television show.
Yeah, it's been there longer, and it's just tradition. With this move, you're adding importance to SmackDown, and it's gonna put more light on it. And because they said the ratings didn't really go up for SmackDown after that huge boost that Raw, the Raw reunion got.
Yeah.
But now that what we talked about earlier, when we talk about the new show that they're gonna do on FS1, they're gonna do like a introduction show. SmackDown's level of importance is going up, and it's gonna level out with Raw, and that's a good thing for overall for the product.
I think it's good too. I actually thoroughly, surprisingly enjoyed the whole Kofi and Randy tidbit
It
too.
was great.
And then the fact that they even went back to the clip 10 years ago, I said, oh shit, they dug that out on the WWE Network. But I just thought the back and forth, because Kofi been working on the promo, so I appreciate that, brother, because we know you were struggling in the beginning. But now it's like with him and Randy, it was just like Randy hit him with the I totally low-blowed you. I totally low-balled you back in the day. Like, I was like, oh, the truth comes out. Randall.
But the thing, I think that the promo was better because it was reality.
Yeah.
It was reality, and it was like
And it has history.
It has history, and it's going off emotion. Like, yo, Randy fucked this nigga over.
Yeah.
He legit fucked this dude over. And I gotta give Kofi so much props because he continued through the storm and he continued waiting for his moment to come.
Yep.
Like, homeboy fucked you over. You think you're not gonna cut a great promo? And like, hold my dick, bitch. I'm a champion.
Yo, but then when Randall said you should go back to shaking your ass and throwing pancakes, I was like, what? It's like, oh, Randall, that's rude.
Why you calling him Randall?
Because that's his name.
Stop calling niggas by that. Like you
Randall.
know them. But this is.
Yo, side note, I don't know if I told you. On my flight back home from Tampa, guess what's on my flight? Kurt fucking Hawkins.
Not a fan of him.
Really?
You said Zach Ryder with Pops.
Oh, fuck.
He was. Did you talk to him?
No, first of all, it was a 7 a.m. flight. I'm not that person, and I don't even like being talked to at 7 o'clock in the morning. But I literally walked to the gate, and I said, that nigga look like Kurt Hawkins. That's weird. I was like, all right, whatever. And then I get on the plane, and then I look again. I said, that's fucking Kurt Hawkins on the damn plane going back to New York. So that's pretty dope. But
You didn't say hello?
it's 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm not one of those super fans that I'm waiting by the hotel
No,
or I'm
just-
going to interrupt your dinner
No,
or
just say
any of
hello.
that
Say
shit.
hello. Yo, I'm a fan.
It's
Keep it
7
moving.
a.m. in the
My
morning.
nigga, keep it moving.
I looked, I saw, and I kept it fucking moving in my seat to take a 2-hour nap because I had been up all night. But
It's your fault you up all night.
definitely, actually not my fault. But anyway, we're going to move. We're going to sign on off
Okay.
on that note. I mean, when you have to be at the airport at 5:20, I went to go smoke
No,
hookah.
we're not talking about this.
Oh, okay.
This
I
is
was trying to
weird.
clean it up. But
This is weird. This is
it's
weird.
not weird.
This is weird.
Any last thoughts or anything before we do sign off, gentlemen? No.
Oh, the song in the beginning is our new theme song. If we've added that to the beginning. If you
So
saw
if
the
you ever
YouTube-
see us like bopping our heads in the headphones because we hear it too.
Yeah, so on the YouTube page, we added it to our YouTube videos as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we also have the song on SoundCloud if you guys haven't heard it yet.
Yes, it is done by the magnificent Monty.
Check out my interview on Weed and Wrestling dropping this week. Check out my other interview for the 3 a.m. podcast.
Oh,
Check that out.
you have a lot of interviews that you do. Don't tell
Because I'm
nobody
that nigga. What?
that you don't tell anyone. But okay.
I do, but y'all don't
do
check it
not.
out.
No, did you hear about that?
I reposted it on
Okay.
our page, and then I listened to the 3 a.m. one. It was
Was
a little
it-
hard to listen to
was it in our group
because
chat, though?
no, it wasn't in a group chat, but
Okay.
I just saw it because it
Just
popped up.
wanted to know.
But it was a little hard to listen to because their
But yes,
their audio
continue
wasn't
to
that great.
push your plug. Go ahead.
Shout out to Secret Smoker Society. Check us out. We dropping something really soon. Dang, I got mad stuff in the works too.
Keyword you.
Yes, cause I'm that nigga freak. Dang, I'll be working this summer. I got some stuff dropping in the fall real soon. Check that out, and that's it.
Well, all right. So, SummerSlam weekend is about 2.5-3 weeks away. Friday, we're going to kick off at HOG where you have Young Bucks versus
Don't you talk
Private
about
Party.
the shows that you got coming up? You have Inside the Indies, and you have what's the name? The
You
Big
know,
Four.
I don't like pushing myself. But we got 2 special episodes coming up. The Big Four is returning, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be the original 3 lovely ladies. So it will be me, Tatiana, and Haven doing the Big Four for SummerSlam weekend. So stay tuned for more information on that. The original 3 is back. And then I will be doing an Inside the Indies episode, and it will be
Haven's coming
featuring... Yeah.
Oh,
It
man.
will be with referees. I feel like they are the unspoken heroes of the ring. So, good title. Man, that was good. So we will be dropping those episodes very soon and recording very soon. But then once again, SummerSlam weekend, we have HOG kicking off with High Intensity 8, I believe. And then Saturday, it will be NXT TakeOver Toronto viewing party at Legends, followed by Jobber Slam 5, the after party. So make sure even if you don't go to the viewing party, come for the after party. Come meet us. Come hang out with us. It's, our 1 year of doing Jobber Slam, and I think I'm excited. So it will be DJ. We're going to have, drink specials. It'll be a good time. And then the end of the weekend, we will be presenting Peter Rosenberg's Cheap Heat at Legends. So for more information, you can look on our social media on eventbrite.com. You can purchase tickets for that show. And then after that will be the grand finale of SummerSlam Toronto viewing party in New York City at Legends. So it's the one time within the last, 3-4 years it has not been in New York. So we'll be hosting our viewing party. It's one of our biggest viewing parties, and it is the hottest party of the summer.
If you haven't RSVP'd yet, please make sure that you do. Seating is very, very
Limited.
limited. We already are over 100 RSVPs.
There you go. And it was released about a week ago. So make sure to RSVP and hit us up for more information. Any one of us sitting here on the Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can always DM anyone and ask for more information. Anything else I'm missing? No, I think that's about it. Well, as always, this is Job of Tears Podcast with Sir Wilkins, Mr. Black, and I am Janelle from HR. #Black Excellence. #we're out.